So we finally are able to get the identity of this mystery devil that we all been trying to speculate in the past two chapters of Chainsaw Man. And the name of the identity of this devil is actually the fallen devil. And she was sent out from the president of hell to cause mayhem and destruction. And this devil is very powerful because with the power of fear, she will be a very unstoppable force thanks to the fact that the fear gives the devil a lot of power. So since a lot of people has the fear of falling, and of course you're falling to your death, it will give the fallen devil more power. And with her ability to able to make people fall, even if you're like walking down the streets, she will make an ability to have you be able to levitate, and then suddenly you'll just fall to your death. Because at the end of the chapter, we kind of see how's that displayed when people are just walking down the street. But we also are able to see how she's able to do that in an apartment where we see that people were just walking and falling out of their balcony because that was a more easier task to do instead of just doing it in the street, because in the street you'll have to levitate people and then they'll have to fall to their deaths. But in an apartment building, all they have to do is just open the window and just jump off of the building. Not only that, the fact that she is a powerful devil that was sent from the president of hell, which that's another explanation, but we also see that the war devil is actually running away from her like a little chicken. She also has some clothes because last chapter she was naked, and which was a huge issue with YouTube, especially too if you're trying to get monetized. But also as well, she actually put on a chef uniform, which is ironic because the next line that she says is then allow me to begin cooking. And boy, she did not waste any time at all because she activated one of her techniques, which actually got the War Devil and Azza affected by it. Because during around that time, we get a backstory about Azza and her fear. And honestly, this attack actually is very effective because of what's happening towards the War Devil and Azza. Because towards the end of the chapter, we see that Azza is actually waking up from this dream that the fallen devil was able to put her in, or this trance. And then so what happened was that the war devil was like, hey, I can't even get into your body. So with this technique, it kind of blocks the connections of the war devil trying to get inside of Oz's body, or trying to get control over Oz's body, so that way she can go on ahead and attack, because she's probably affected by the attack or the technique that the fallen devil has put her into. And several people has actually been affected by this technique as well, because everyone around the street, they're looking up and they seeing people are floating up in the air, and we all know once they're in the air, they're gonna have to come down. And the way that they're gonna come down is going to be very painful and very, very dangerous, to the point where they're going to die. But the fallen devil seems to be a personal chef, or the occupation of a chef, because how she's able to name her attacks and how she is presenting her attacks. Because one of the attacks that she actually named to actually put Ozzo the War Devil into this dream sequence was actually a French dessert or a French cuisine. And it was really interesting to see how like the fallen devil is actually behaving. And then so while Azza is in this dream, or the war devil is in this dream, we are able to see more backstory of Azza and how she was in this orphanage, and she was the only orphan that actually has a cat. And we see that the lady who's in charge of the orphanage didn't like the fact that she was the only one that actually has a cat, and that she was saying to Azza like, hey, you need to interact with the other kids, you just can't keep relying on this cat. But we see that Azza's just like, no, I want to be an introvert, I like this cat because this cat actually makes me happy and whatever. So of course this lady, she didn't want Azza to be happy at all, so she got rid of the cat. And towards the end of the dream sequence, we realized that Azza's cat was thrown away into the river. And what Azza realized what's going on, she asked the lady like, hey, what happened to the cat? And then the lady says that everyone lost their family you can't be the only one with a family member. Isn't that fair? Isn't that unfair? And then there we see Ozza actually wakes up from this dream, but then she realized that she's being levitated. So she grabs the pole and holding on tight because she realized that she's being lifted up in the air and there's nothing that she could do because the War Devil and Ozza's connection cannot be connected to each other because the War Devil can't jump into Ozza's body to try to stop this. And as the fallen devil is cooking the negative feelings of her victims, so the greater the guilt and the past trauma that they have, the greater the fall they will be, so that way they will fall to their deaths. And this devil is actually very creative on how she's able to kill the victims and actually feed off the fear of the victims as well. And so all I can say is that now we get a better understanding on why she is a primary devil, and all of this is going down in this latest chapter of Chainsaw Man. But let me know down in the comment section how you guys feel about this chapter and what you guys think of what's going to happen, and honestly what you guys feel about this devil, because honestly this devil is very, very creative and it's going to be very, very powerful to beat. But other than that, this is the Monotone Man. Hope you guys have a wonderful day, and remember, always be decent and have a just great day. Bye.